provided salvage, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A-plus rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJrEnterprises.com. A certified whitening contractor. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hey, all right. We are coming to you live, baby. Hialeah Park. We're getting ready for the weigh-ins. We got the match tomorrow. We're going to have a great night of Cuban boxing here at Hialeah Park. We are going to have all the weigh-ins for you. We're going to have a nice, clean camera shot right next to the boxers as they're weighing in and facing each other and taking the pictures. And if there's, any scuffling going on, we're going to be able to pick that up. So we got a bunch of stuff going on today. This is a short program, by the way. We're only going to be on for a couple of hours probably, talking some stuff here and having some fun. Although I got to tell you, as we await for them to start the weigh-ins, looks like they're going to do it right here, huh? I thought it was going to be over there. So they're clearing out that area there. So we might have it like right in front of us here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if the commission is the boxing commission taking over now. Anyway, remember, if you all want to get in, 855-912-1056 is the text line. 855-912-1056 is the text line. If you want to get in, plenty of you won tickets to be here tomorrow night here at Hialeah Park. Sean and I are going to be out here hanging out, watching the fight. So I'm looking forward to meeting some of you out there. I'm I'm keeping up with the Bitcoin market right now, although it went a little under 36. I was able to get it at 35, like 8, I think it was, but now it's like back over 36. So I'm just like keeping up with it, hoping for there's like another little dip here. So we're keeping up with the crypto market too at the same time while we're doing everything. You know what I did see? That's got to be, it's kind of tough for us as Dolphin fans, right? Well, guess what? The Titans. How about this story now? Okay. What is that? Okay. It's not feasible for the Titans to move on from Ryan Tannehill this season, according to Ben Arthur of the Tennessean. So Tannehill signed a 4-year, $118 million deal with the Titans after the 2019 season. Now, he restructured his deal in June to facilitate the Julio Jones trade, which added 2 voidable years to the end of Tannehill's deal, adding to the challenge of moving his contract. Releasing Tannehill would trigger $54.7 million of dead cap charges, while trading him would leave a $29 million fully guaranteed base salary to the team, to the next team. So, little surprised to see Tannehill so squarely on the hot seat after a season that had him throwing to Nick Westbrook and left without Derrick Henry for months. But a 3-pick playoff flop will do that to you. It will be much easier for the Titans to move on from Tannehill if they want to in the 2023 offseason. Wow. So, there you go. That's when you learn your lesson the hard way. Okay? That's when you learn your lesson the worst way possible, because you signed a dude that really couldn't get it done, and yet somehow or another you paid him all that money. I mean, God bless Ryan, dude. He has been stealing money without a gun and a mask forever. I mean, these quarterbacks that you pay all this money to, and they'll never get you over the top. Isn't that amazing how the system is structured? That you're paying Kirk Cousins all this money, he'll never get you over the top. Can you win it all with Kirk Cousins? Of course. The team's got to be really good, just like Ryan. Team's got to be like super dominant. But it's like, why are you paying this guy if he can't actually win the game for you? You know what I mean? So kind of rough there. Jamie Zorrilla, by the way, was first in. Oh, he says good morning. So Jamie, you were cheating, huh? You posted this at 8:40 in the morning after I posted this up. Okay. Jay Gelfin chimed in. He probably chimed in at the wrong time. Now he's back. I see 444 for Jay. So he's back there. Appreciate you guys out there keeping it locked here. All right. So you see that Sean is working the weigh-in there. He's got the camera going. So we'll be able to watch the weigh-ins. Now, I'll tell you this. I don't know what order they're going to go by, but let's say they're going backwards. If they are, if they're going with the heavyweights, the first fight, Ricardo Aguero and Brandon Grundy. Aguero is a Cuban boxer making his pro debut, and Grundy is from Draper, Utah. I don't know. We'll see. If we see 2 big dudes, we will know that it's the first fight. All right. All right, so they're giving the orders. And it looks like Argelados and Banquez are first. So they're going from the first fight to the 10th fight. That's how they're doing it, in the reverse. I thought they would weigh first the opening matches all the way up to the title match. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like they're going in the reverse order with the title, with the headliners first in Argalagos and Michel Banquez. And Argalados, by the way, is from Cuba. He's 8-0 with 4 knockouts. And Banquez is from Venezuela. He's 19-1 with 13 knockouts. So there you go. By the way, we do have some football news. We'll be doing a regular talk show. We'll just kind of, weave in all this stuff in and out. Raiders have requested to interview Josh McDaniels. I don't know how anybody even wants to interview anybody from the Belichick tree anymore, right? I mean, does it make any sense that you would want to interview anybody from the Belichick tree? Jeff Fisher is going to be the head coach of the USFL Michigan Panthers. Adrian Wilson, remember we were talking about this in the morning. For those of you that were tuning in with us in the morning, Adrian Wilson is in. Trent Baalke is out as Jags GM. So that's what the reports are, that Wilson got it. Apparently, it was all Leftwich. It was like, well, if you want me, I'm not going there with Trent Baalke. And I was talking about this in the morning. Like, I don't even understand why Trent Baalke's even – he was terrible in San Francisco. I don't even know why anybody would hire Trent Baalke. It's the weirdest thing. So those are some of the notes that came in on the NFL side. Jay says, Orlando, remind me to tell you my Aaron the Hawk Pryor story about him coming to my DJ booth at Flanagan's Speakeasy and asking me for my autograph. Aaron Pryor, the boxer you're talking about, right? Oh, I still remember that fight with him. I was there, actually, with Alexis Arguello. And, yeah, give me the bottle. No, not that one. The one that's mixed. And that was the end of Alexis Arguello's career. Aaron Pryor punished him so badly that he was never the same guy again. Okay. All right, it looks, here we go. All right, Michel Banquez is going to be stepping on the scale right now from Caracas, Venezuela. He's 19-1. 117 pounds. See? There you go. 117 pounds for Michel Banquez. Now we're going to see Giovanni Argalagos. From Camagüey, Cuba, 8-0. He is 8-0 with 4 knockouts, and he is stepping up to the weight. So it looks like they're going from, this is the headlining fight tomorrow night here at Hialeah Park. 116.8. So 117 and 116.8, so they're kind of right in the same territory. So now the question is, do we get any rumbles? Right? When they put them face to face, do we get it? It's you always want some trash talking in these kind of things, right? That's kind of what you're looking at. Now they're going with George Romero from Miami, Florida, by the way, a local man he's 21-0 with 13 knockouts, and Lucas Rafael Baez of Argentina. Also, he's got 20 knockouts in his career. So we await those guys. There we are. There's the face-off with Argalados and Banquez. All right, no rumble, no trash talking, no pushing. I always wonder about those things. Do you have bad breath on purpose? Just to make the guy, like, do you eat a bunch of onions and stuff, like, right before you do this? You know, so you can get some stank breath, and then you stand in front of the guy and you breathe. Lucas Rafael Baez y Jorgito Romero. David Triana says, "Oh, I'm thinking we could use to do a show at 5 too. Maybe bring a gallon of that lemon and honey." Don't be surprised if the show gets extended. There's some talk. May not be exactly all South Florida sports talk, but it might be other things. You never know. Just had a meeting about that just a little while ago. This place is packed. I mean, it's crazy. It's a madhouse right now. Everybody's all around everything. All right, so now this will be the second fight. Romero taking on Lucas Rafael Baez.
Stepping on the stage from Argentina, Lucas Rafael Baez.
There you go. Baez has got 20 knockouts in his career, and we shall see.
122.2 pounds.
122.2 pounds. And plenty of honey and lemon, ladies and gentlemen. You need it to get through a day like today. I get off the air to do don't feel sorry for me, but I get off the air to do 3 hours and then 2 meetings, and then we're back to do another show.
Romero, 121.8.
He's a good fighter. George Romero, you will, for those of you that are coming tomorrow, this kid's 21-0 with 13 knockouts. Technician, going to be fun to watch him tomorrow, and he's a Miami kid. So, and he's a really nice guy. We had him on last week on the program, and he was absolutely fantastic. If you missed that interview with George Romero, it is in our podcast, and you can check it out. I was proud of the kid. You know why? There's a little thing I have that I get pissed off about. And when you live in a country, right, you should learn the language. And I don't care where you come from. Look, I get it. Old people come and they're 65, 75, 80. They don't have, they're just enjoying their final years, whatever. But those of us that come here or born here or whatever, learn the language, And here's a young man that came when he was like 12 or whatever, and he has done a phenomenal job of learning the language. I hate people that come to the country and refuse to learn the English language. To me, that makes like no sense. I moved to Germany or Paris or whatever. I'm going to learn the language of that country. Just out of pure respect and just out of pure like intelligence. Just because I'm going to want to understand where the hell I'm at a lot more, right? And conversations and all of those things. And I thought George was just, he carried himself like a true pro, man. I admired that. There was a boxer years ago.
Let's put our hands together from Cienfuegos, Cuba, with a record of 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Orestes and Tsunami Velasquez.
So that's the third fight, Velasquez. And I'm trying to remember the guy's name now. Tito Trinidad.
Orestes Velasquez, 142.
And
142.
I always thought Tito left millions and millions on the table because the kid never learned how to speak the English language. And I know he's Puerto Rican. I believe he was Puerto Rican. And he, probably lives still in the island and probably didn't need to learn it. But if you want to end up making big time money and sponsors, you should learn the damn language. I thought he really hurt himself on the marketing end because he was such a stud. This fight, by the way, it's Abram Martinez from Dallas, Texas, who's 9-0 with 7 knockouts against Orestes Velasquez from Cienfuegos, Cuba, who's 2-0 with 2 knockouts here. The next fight will be Ariel Perez de la Torre, super bantamweight fight, 8 rounds against Drew Correll. And by the way, Perez de la Torre is 6-0 with 5 knockouts, and Drew Correll from Daneville, Virginia. Anybody watching from Daneville, Virginia? He is 10-1 with 8 knockouts. And remember, you can catch the entire fight card. It doesn't matter where you live on the planet, wherever you're watching this show. Fight TV, FITE.TV. Okay, pay-per-view. It's only a couple bucks, and you're gonna be able to watch a pretty good boxing card. I know they're lining up the next guys here. We're waiting
for this fight tomorrow night. One of the most exciting fights of the night. 2 undefeated fighters putting their record on the line.
This is Velasquez and Martinez. So they'll go with De La Torre and Correll will be the next 2 fighters when it's all said and done. Let's see what else we have here on Le Programme. Remember, 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the show. Tonight, by the way, the Panthers are back in action. They are taking on the Golden Knights.
Good luck to both of you, gentlemen.
See if they pick up another victory.
And Drew Carell.
Good thing is they're home. Knights are good, man. They're 25, 15, and 3. Panthers are 29, 9, and 5. So, pretty close overall. So, and the Knights have been, it's been a pretty amazing story for that franchise. From expansion on, they have been a competitive bunch every year. It's pretty impressive what the Knights have done. As we talked earlier on the show, that's one place that I definitely have to check out one day. I have to go to a Knights game. Maybe the Panthers are playing the Knights in the Stanley Cup, and we can go check it out.
Coming to the scales from Danville, Virginia, with a record of 10-1 and 8 knockouts. Let's welcome Drew Carell.
There you go. Anybody in Virginia watching the show? Drew Carell is your guy. 122.6 pounds. Drew Carell, 10-1 with 8 knockouts, and he'll be taking on Ariel Perez de la Torre. I just said that. So there you go. 6-0, 5 knockouts, and he will come to the scale. How did you get into hockey? Philadelphia.
123.4, Ariel Perez de la Torre.
123.4 for Ariel. So there you go. Now we'll get the two to stand in front of each other. How did I get into hockey? It's one of those sports I love attending in person, but haven't been able to fully get into as a fan and watch the Panthers the way I do with the Heat and the Dolphins. Well, I'll tell you this. You know what you need to do, David? You need to go to a game. Once you go to a hockey game, you will pick up the bug and you will understand it. And there's nothing better. There's no sport that's better live than hockey. All the other sports were made for television. Hockey was made to be live. That's what I would tell you. I got into hockey when I was a kid because my dad used to go to Philadelphia all the time, and I became a Flyers fan. So I was a Sixers fan first. And when I went to Philly, I all of a sudden became a Flyers fan too. Right? And so then I was always a Phillies and a Sixers fan, and I added the Flyers. We didn't have any of those three teams when I was growing up. We had no Heat, no Marlins, no Panthers. So I only had the Dolphins, and then they added I had the Dolphins and the Canes, and then they added the Strikers in the mid-'70s to late 70s and early 80s. So I ended up getting into hockey. And my dad, bless him, rest in peace, he was as big a degenerate as it gets. And I don't know if you guys know what a C-band satellite is. A C-band satellite is one of those big-ass, like, aluminum satellites. And it was like maybe 14, 15 foot, 16 foot wide. And we had one in the backyard. And at my dad's house. And my dad was such a hardcore gambler that he bought a C-band satellite. So when I was a kid, I had channels that nobody else had. And let me tell you something. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about, if they're old enough to have owned or experienced a C-band satellite, back in the day, you would watch a live event and they would throw it to the break, but it wouldn't go to the break. You were watching the live feed, and then you would watch people come in, like they would throw it to a break, and you're watching, football on NBC or whatever, and you're watching it locally wherever you're at, and it's going to a commercial break. Me on the satellite, I'm watching it, and the announcers are dropping S-bombs and F-bombs, and they're doing their hair, and they're spitting, and everything that they do in the middle of a break. It was amazing. I wish I could have recorded that kind of stuff back in the day. So, long story short, because we had the satellite, I was able to watch Dr. J anytime I wanted to. Whether it was at T1 or W2 or F1 or whatever the different satellites that I forget how they were like a letter and a number, if I remember, and then a channel 1, 2, 3, 4 up to I think 24, I believe, each satellite. And so you would and there was a TV guide, okay, that you could find like all the different channels, and we could watch any sporting event we wanted to because my dad was a gambler. And so he always want football and baseball. He didn't bet basketball or hockey. He didn't care about those sports at all. He either was betting baseball, football, or boxing. That's it. Those are the three things he was always betting on. And so he always wanted to have the satellite so he can watch whatever he wanted to watch. So yours truly was blessed to grow up as a kid with like a C-band satellite and be able to watch like any sport I wanted to. When the USFL would be going on, my dad and I would sit there and pick the games and all that, and he would ask me my opinion on the spread and all that, and then we'd go and find the different games on the satellite because it's not like you could watch every game locally. You'd be lucky if one game was on. So then, whatever other NFL game you were betting on or USFL, we'd move the satellite to go find one of those. So I became a Flyers fan and a Sixers fan and the Broadway Bullies and all that stuff back in the day. So there you go. That's how I became a hockey fan. I had what I regret that my mom probably threw them away. I had the little flags of all four sports and all the teams. And remember back then it was, the Atlanta Flames before they went to Calgary. It was the New Orleans Jazz before they became the Utah Jazz. All those kind of little things that used to exist back in the 70s, you know what I'm saying? And very early 80s, I guess. So, yeah, that's how I got into hockey. My dad's trucking business got me going to Philadelphia, and then that made me a hockey fan because I just became an all-out Philly fan, except for the Eagles, of course, because I had my Dolphins. There you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see, what else do we have here? The Greater Good says, hockey is so much better live. It's the best. I was just saying that right now, that it's the best thing that there is live. All right, they are right now continuing the weigh-in here at Hialeah Park. Remember, tomorrow will be a great boxing card here at Hialeah Park. It starts at 6 o'clock. Warriors Boxing and Promotion presenting 10 different bouts. It's going to be a really good night tomorrow night, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be here, so those of you that want tickets, I would love to meet you guys out here tomorrow. The Greater Good says the Islanders were a hot team back then. Yep. You are correct, sir.
Scales from Miami, Florida.
Here we go.
Part of the Nicaraguan national team with an undefeated record of 9-0 with 6 knockouts.
Eric Lanza.
The bully Lanzas.
So a kid now from Homestead, Florida is weighing in now. Eric Lanza, Nicaraguan, 136 pounds. It's a lightweight fight, 6 rounds. He'll be taking on Ricardo Ocampo from Corrientes, Argentina. So if you want to root for you got a couple local guys. George Romero, Miami guy. Eric Lanza, a Homestead guy. Isaac Carbonell is from Miami. He's a Cuban fighter, but obviously this is his hometown, Miami. Derek Ulfares, Puerto Rican, that makes his home here in Miami. He'll be taking on Jonathan Condi, who also makes his home here in Miami. Rashid Williams from Nassau, Bahamas, will be also will be the second bout of the night. He's going to take on Daniel Molina from Miami, who's making his pro debut. And Rashid Williams, by the way, from Nassau, is 4-1 with 3 knockouts. So this should be an interesting fight. And then you've got Ricardo Aguero from Cuba taking on Brandon Grundy that we talked about earlier from Draper, Utah. So there you go. So right now they are weighing in Lanza and Ocampo. They are 6 fights in. There's 4 more to get weighed in on. All right. What else do we have going on? Panthers back in action tonight. Heat will be back in action tomorrow night against the Clippers at 8 o'clock. Canes back in action on Saturday at G-Tech. All right. Did not hear exactly the weight there.
It was 143, yo. 143.
Well, thank you. How about that? Sean's on top of it. Sean is he awesome or what? 143. All right. So it's a little over 135. They may have to do a little negotiations.
No, there was. I'll tell you when I get back to the table.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Carbonell and Ariel Bustos.
All right. So the Miami kid, Isaac Carbonell, is going to go now. He's 4-0, taking on Ariel Bustos, who has got 3 knockouts also in his career there on the match. So we'll see tomorrow night, man. Should be a lot of fun. I'm glad they're doing this because, one, we should be doing it. A town like ours, with the rich history that it has, especially with this sport. And I know this is a sport that's kind of lost some of its luster, but these are the moments that you can appreciate as a fan.
175 pounds, Ariel Bustos from Argentina.
So Ariel Bustos weighs in at 175 pounds from Argentina. And Isaac Carbonell.
4-0, light heavyweight.
So he's 4-0 light heavyweight. He's got 3 knockouts.
175 pounds on the nose.
Right, well, it is a 175-pound fight. It's a light heavyweight fight, and he came in exactly at 175. We got a super featherweight coming up now with Derek Ulfares and Jonathan Grundy. So both fighters there, as you see there. All right. So far, nothing with the Dolphins, by the way. And I don't think we expected it. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, Jay, that was a funny line where you said that the likes were exceeding the people on the chat board, that's because you got people coming in and coming out. This is not a normal time for us. People aren't used to it. Some people may not have paid attention when we were doing the morning show that we were coming back today to do the weigh-in and check it out. I don't know if we're going to get any interviews because I know that they're all kind of crazy and busy right now and all this kind of stuff. This is, I got to tell you, it's a sea of people.
Next on the scales.
Because obviously you have all the trainers with the boxers here, their promoters, so there's family members, all kinds of stuff. I wish some of you would have come out here because it's actually a pretty cool experience. Because normally in weigh-ins, like when we go to Vegas weigh-ins, you can't get close. Here, you guys could walk right up to be right in the middle of all the action. That's the other thing. If any of you would be boxing like fanatics, you could probably meet these guys here right now, take a picture with them, and 5 years from now, one of them might turn out to be a star. And you're like, yo, met this guy when he was coming up. And you'll see there's going to be 1 or 2 of those guys from this group that will probably end up doing something down the line. That's why it's kind of, I kind of compare this a little bit at times. I always tell people about the Senior Bowl. I always tell football fans that if you're a fanatical person about football, that's got to be in your bucket list. You got to do it one time just so you can experience it. So Jonathan Conde, 128.4. This is a 130-pound fight. Jonathan Conde is from Miami, Florida. He's got 2 knockouts. There you go, Derek Ulfares.
With a total of 92 amateur fights.
Wow, 92 amateur fights. Okay. Puerto Rican, 92 amateur fights. Making his home here in Miami and making his debut. 127.2. All right. So now you'll see Ulfares against Conde. They will stand up to each other. You got 2 more weigh-ins. It'll be the welterweight and the heavyweight fights that are left. a young man from Nassau, Bahamas. That's pretty cool, man. Get a young man from the Caribbean. Although Cuba's also in the Caribbean, too. All right. Remember, folks, if you want to get in, 855-912-1056 on the text line. You can reach out to us on the YouTube chat board, Yahoo email, BigORadioShow@yahoo.com, Twitter, Big O Show, all of that. Many ways to contact us if you want. The Greater Good says, when I was a kid, the Atlanta Braves broadcast their games here. We had no team, so I was a Braves fan. Watched Hank Aaron. Yeah, Channel 6. WCIX, right? They're the ones that before TBS was showing us the games, it was Channel 6, if I remember correctly. We used to watch, remember they used to also show Notre Dame basketball. I remember we used to catch Yankee games, Oriole games, Braves games, Notre Dame basketball. I don't know why I was watching what's this guy's name that had those funky like jackets? Oh God, what's his name from? He had Kelly Tripucka and Orlando Woolridge and God, what's the name of the coach in those days? I'm forgetting him now. He had those ugly ass jackets. Somebody's gonna have to help me with that one. All right, Nassau, Bahamas. 144 pounds. 144 for Rashid Williams from Nassau, Bahamas. 4-1, 3 knockouts. And this is the second fight of the night. Daniel Molina, 143.2 pounds. 143.2 for Daniel Molina from Miami, Florida, making his pro debut against Rashid Williams out of Nassau, Bahamas. And now we've got the final bout, which is really the first bout of the night, which is going to be a heavyweight fight, 4-rounder, by the way. And the Rashid Williams, Daniel Molina fight is also 4 rounds. We have 4 4-round fights, 2 6-round fights, 3 8-round fights, and 1 10-round fight. It's going to be a fun night tomorrow night. I hope some of you are able to come out. I met Marvin Frazier, Smokin' Joe, and Leon Spinks at Faces in the Grove way back in the day. That's a classic. Pulling out faces and everything in the Grove. All right, so we got the big boys now, right? Final one of the weigh-ins here at Hialeah Park. And 257.6 for Brandon Grundy out of Utah. He is 0-1. He's only had 1 fight. Ricardo Aguero is making his pro debut. Ricardo Aguero making his pro debut. Let's see. 6'8". 6'8"? Holy crap. Holy crap, the guy's 6'8". 272 pounds. 272. How the hell do you fight somebody 6'8", dude? How do you get into that reach? When you're that big, you just jab the crap out of people and it's over. Jab them till they're kind of silly and then you pound them with the right and it's over. All right, so that's your weigh-in right there. All 10 bouts are in. Tomorrow night should be a lot of fun here at Hialeah Park, man. I hope we're going to get some of you out here to join us, by the way. Let's see. What do we have here? Let me see if there's any breaking news. Mike McCarthy receives assurances he will return for the 2022 season. So there you go. If any of you Cowboy fans want to get him fired, which I don't even know why he got hired in the first place, but I mean, that's Jerry needs a puppet. Jerry's never going to hire a coach that actually is his own man. He can't handle something like that. He's going to need a yes man. So he's got himself a yes man. Basically, that's what's going on. And I'm trying to see if there's any other news that's out there. And I just don't see anything that's breaking right now. Although somebody's writing a column about trade destinations for John Collins. I do like John Collins for the Miami Heat, but Miami Heat, I doubt they're going to be in the mix. They've got the Sixers, the Spurs, the Mavs, and the Pistons. They're not talking Heat right now for John Collins. Unfortunately, I do like John Collins. I think he's a pretty good player, man. That would be one that I would have no problem if the Miami Heat could acquire a guy like John Collins. He's a player, man. I like him. Locally, I don't see anything right now going on. No breaking news. I will tell you this. I want nothing to do with some of these coaches that they're talking about, like Kellen Moore. Listen, Mike McDaniel still makes me nervous, but I'll tell you this. One of the things that I kind of feel better about after finding out some of the information from Cameron Wolf this morning, if the Dolphins are going to keep the defensive staff, that's actually a good thing for a young coach to have that already in place, because the young coach comes in and there's continuity already on one side of the ball. So at least Mike McCarthy or Brian Dable or any of these Kellen Moore, I don't even want to think about it. But all they got to focus in on is on the offense. So they don't have to necessarily micromanage everything. And things went pretty well the second half of the season when Flo wasn't talking to his own team. So that shows you they probably got a little bit of a look at some of these coaches working on their own. So the idea when Cam floated that out there, that he broke the news that the Dolphins have spoken with the candidates that they'd like to keep their defensive staff together, they're all under contract, makes a lot of sense. See, if you're going to hire a Caldwell, they're going to want to hire their entire staff. But if you're going to hire a young guy, what's the experience we've had with the guys like a Joe Philbin, like Cam Flo? They can't build their own staffs. So if you feel good about your defensive staff, then you can't let them go. You got to keep them. And again, Chris Kerr has been around enough to watch the struggles of other coaches trying to put staffs together. So he's like, well, wait a minute. If we feel good about the defensive staff, why are we going to let them go? And if we can get somebody to, what's it called? If we can help the new coach build a staff so he's better, which, by the way, they did it early on. Flo didn't get Changeli, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't his pick. All right? That was somebody else's pick. The front office. They're the ones that got him that. They're the ones that got him Fitz. So they tried to help him, but he doesn't want any help. So as long as Brian Dable's coming in with an open mind and Mike McCarthy's coming in with an open, they can't be ignorant enough. They've never done it before. So you don't even know if they can do it. So that's where it kind of changes the dynamics of whoever the next coach is. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing because of the prior experiences that we've watched others struggle to put a staff together. But you got people serving you food and everything here now? Or I just look over and somebody's coming to our table, so I'm trying to make sure nobody messes with our stuff while I'm talking to you. And some guy comes, no, I'm bringing some food. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's Sean controlling the environment there for food. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, so how was it, Sean? What was that? I can't hear you. You're going to have to use a mic so we can hear you. I don't think we're going to get anybody, right, Sean? The hell are you doing with that? What is that? All right, is some experiment you're doing now? You're doing some experiment or something? No? What are you doing?
No experiment. I am bringing me into the stream.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And right now, that's the only camera I have. So
I see. I got you now.
There we go. So,
dude, that last boxer, that guy was big, bro.
I had to lift the camera up, and I kept going up. I couldn't.
He's 6'8",
6'8", and his opponent is like probably a little taller than me, so he's about 6'1", I think. Big, huge reach advantage.
How the hell are you going to get in there?
It's going to be interesting. On that one fight with, was it Nunez or Lanza, Eric Lanza?
Yeah.
His opponent wasn't here, so they had to do a
Ocampo?
Yeah, apparently they did a fill-in.
Oh, okay.
That fill-in was overweight.
Yeah, by like 9 pounds, right?
Oh, he was 150.
Oh, yeah, that's 15.
So they had to get, for the fight to happen, they had to get up weight. So that's why he was putting the clothes on. And he reweighed to 143.
That's awesome. Oh, yes.
He had, like 3 or 4.
Welcome to boxing.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to boxing.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Yes, sir. It's interesting up there.
Does Dable bring back Coach Rizzi? I don't know.
Maybe.
Hey, listen, the way the special teams played last year, yeah, maybe. Oh, the problem is Rizzi's probably coaching somebody's special teams, right? I don't know who it is, but that would be a lateral position move, so you can't really, do that. So I'm pretty sure he's somewhere. I think. Not exactly sure. By the way, I wonder if we had any. Do we have any Bitcoin dip here while we were talking? I must be one of the few people in the country hoping for a bigger dip on Bitcoin. Just because I know it'll be our last shot. Still pretty low, by the way. 36,000 is actually really, really good. Okay. Okay. What was that? Which one? Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right. Oh, but he's eating. Yeah. All right. So I think Sean's working the room, trying to see if he gets us a boxer. I don't know. All right. So it looks like we'll get Derek Ulfares join us. He is eating right now, so let's give the young man some time to eat here, and then we'll talk. But we'll have some fun. I'm looking forward to the matches tomorrow. I'm a boxing guy, so I like this kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow to watch some of these young guys. Let's see. New Orleans. Oh, you mean he's in New Orleans? Okay. Figures. Rizzi's a good coach, man. He did a good job here. Who are you getting? Revolta? Okay. All right, let's get Henry Revolta in to talk a little bit about the boxers. Yeah, right there. There we go. Henry will sit down. We'll talk. Henry will give us some really good info on on all the boxers. So and we'll find out. Also, I'm gonna ask him about some strategy too. Okay, I gotta ask him about some strategy here when it comes to boxing. Okay, so Henry Revolta joining us. How in the hell are you gonna get into a guy that's 6'8", bro? What,
dude, man?
That's too big.
That is big. He's trained by Herman Caicedo, who also trains Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz.
Yeah, King Kong.
Which
Yes.
I think you remember from back
Of
in the days
course.
at the Hard Rock. So, I mean, it's just an incredible opportunity for that young man. He doesn't even know what he has around him, being represented by Ortiz and Herman. And I think it's going to be great for him, for the future. Big boy, 6'8".
Yeah. Damn. I kept thinking of, and he wasn't as big, but if your home's like, and you just jab the crap out of people at that size, you'll just
It's hard
pummel them, and then boom.
I had the chance to see him spar about a month and a half ago, and I had no idea who he was. So I walked into the gym to see my other fighter, Eric Lanzas, who also trains with Herman Caicedo, and I see this big giant, and I told Herman, I said, "Who is this guy?" He said, "I signed him. He's with us now." And I said, "Wow!" And then I saw him sparring, and I won't mention the names of who he was sparring with, but he really hurt the guy he was sparring. Who's a really big name.
Can he box?
He can box, he can fight, he can punch. He's mean, he's tough. I think sky's the limit for that kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He's from Luis Ortiz's old neighborhood in Cuba.
Okay.
So he knows him since he was a kid. Luis knows him since he was a kid. So when he got older,
is he a slugger? Or is he does he have a little like what's the English guy who's actually a pretty decent boxer that sings? What's that? Fury.
Oh yeah.
Does he have a little fury in him in that sense that he can punch and box?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that just yet because I haven't really had a chance to see him fight. Obviously this will be his pro debut, so we'll all be able to get a feel for what he can or can't do. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, because it's intriguing when you see somebody like that, man.
Absolutely.
Now the good thing is about this card, which is intriguing all over the place. Romero's a very good tactician. He's going to be a fun guy to watch. Argalagos. Talk to us a little bit about some of these fights. I see Ulfares is right here. So tell me a little bit about all the guys.
Well, Derek Ulfares is an 18-year-old kid. He's from Puerto Rico, was part of the team over there. He has a total of 92 amateur fights. He's got a great family, a great support system, great father, great coach. They really care for him. You know what I mean? As you can see, they come dressed, represented. They really care about their craft. So I had the privilege of signing him about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And tomorrow night will be his pro debut. He's been real anxious to get in the ring, and I'm dying to see him fight. The people are dying to see him because he just turned 18 last month. So, he's a baby in essence who's a man. So he's coming to show what he can do, and we hope the fans here in South Florida embrace him.
All right, give us a little more info on a couple of other fighters.
Well, we got another.
We should look at it, and whether it's on Fight TV.
Yes.
By the way, Fight.tv, you can actually watch the entire pay-per-view card. It's like a joke. It's like $15 or something like that. It's really stupid. It's just cheap money. It's way more expensive to go to a movie theater. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you're better at home, and you won't even catch COVID. So watch it. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
As long as you don't do a test, you won't catch it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we also have on a card from Puerto Rico an Olympian who's part of the Olympic team. He's got a total of 187 amateur fights.
Wow.
He's 23 years old, 6'2", 168 pound, really, really good kid. Also with a great family around him, a great team. And his name is Luis Rodriguez. So he's definitely also one to keep an eye out for. So also we have Eric Lanzas, who was part of the Nicaraguan national team, and he's got 200 amateur fights.
Damn.
And this kid can really fight. We call him the bully because he's really tough. And, they're tagging him as the next Ricardo Mayorga, being that, Nicaragua has had some real greats, right?
Yeah.
Alexis Arguello.
I was just talking about the whole Aaron Pryor thing, how he was never the same after Pryor in his mixed bottle.
Man, Pryor's something else, though. That was a big, tough dude,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But Eric Lanzas is a real special kid. He works very hard. He's 9-0 as a professional with 6 knockouts. There's a lot of people interested in him right now. I've gotten a lot of calls from people to work with him.
Homestead kid, or he's calling Homestead home.
Yeah, he's from Homestead. He trains over here on 8th Street also at Caicedo Sports Gym. But he is from Homestead, so he's got a nice big following. Kid sold about 150 tickets, so he's got a lot of people coming out to see him. It's going to be fun.
That's going to be awesome.
I want to see that kid, Ariel De La Torre.
Okay.
After that stare down that they just had,
Yeah.
and went like this, sliced his neck, and bumped the other kid, and the other kid is
Corral
real mad.
from Virginia.
Yeah. And Corral looked at me. He said, "You're going to see tomorrow." I said, "I'm not going to see nothing. You're going to see. I'm not going to see nothing. I don't have.
We're
I don't
too
have
old
that
to
kid.
be getting in that ring. Yeah.
I'm past 50. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. We're here to watch.
Absolutely.
You guys are the tough guys. We're not the tough guys anymore.
Yeah, and then Isaac Carbonell is a great kid. He's a 6'3" or 4" light heavyweight. From Cuba. Also has a lot of 100+ amateur fights in Cuba, and he trains with Eufrasio Gonzalez Franco, who's a well-known coach here, good friend of mine also. Sky's the limit for him if he keeps it right. He's managed by Lazaro Martinez, and he's got a good team around him too. I don't know how tough the fight he's in, but we'll see tomorrow night. But there's some prospects on the card, like you said. George Romero is always a fun kid to watch because he's just so classy.
Right.
He's a nice kid. He's
had him on last week. He carried himself so well.
Oh man, he's great, dude. He's probably the kid that I've promoted the most without having signed. Because I don't have George Romero.
Right.
I don't promote him or represent him in any way. But his manager Leo are friends of mine, and they've always done a great job with his career. I've always tried to help him any which way I can. Put him on at the Hard Rock when we were there, and you were there for a lot of the fights at the Hard Rock too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Georgie's a well-known name here, so people will enjoy his fights. And the fight to watch of the night definitely has to be a pick'em fight. Is Abraham Martinez versus Orestes Velasquez.
Okay.
There's a lot to lose in that fight. Abraham Martinez, a PBC fighter. He's 9-0 with 6 knockouts. Orestes Velasquez is 2-0 with 2 knockouts.
And by the way, Martinez has 7 knockouts. You're taking one away from him.
I'm sorry, Abraham.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 knockouts.
Remember, we're not the tough guys anymore. We can't get this stuff wrong.
No, absolutely. I'm not looking for a beating anytime soon.
No.
But that's a real tough one. That's a real good fight.
Okay.
And the main event, obviously, Argelagos. Going up against that 19-1 kid from Venezuela, you can always tell what kind of shape a fighter is going to be in at the weigh-ins. When they take off their shirt, if you see that rips on the side and, full of fiber, and you could tell he's in real shape for the fight that he trained. The ones who take advantage of that are the fans. They're the ones who get to enjoy from that. So I think, hey, an 8-0 against a 19-1, ain't nothing wrong with that for Miami boxing.
What can you tell me about the Bahamian kid, Rashid Williams, going up against Danielle Molina, who's making a pro debut?
Man, I really don't know too much about either one of them.
Okay.
But I can tell you that the kid from the Bahamas flexed his muscle, put his elbow right in his face. The other kid, what kind of fizzled to the side a little bit. So I don't know what could happen. I know that that kid is like an amateur, has fought a lot of amateur fights here.
Molina,
I believe he's out of
I think I saw
Chico's gym.
I think I saw him at
Contenders. That's his gym.
I think I saw him in some undercard, like he was like some kind of exhibition thing or something.
How'd he do? Did you like him?
I think I did see. Like I thought he was like I think if he's the guy I'm thinking of, he was like a really physical kid.
They told me he can fight.
Yeah.
They told me it ain't like it looks. So
okay,
you never know. You can never in boxing. You can never judge a book by its cover, right? Look at Teofimo Lopez versus Camboso is what happened, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, so this should be a hell of a card. Now, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Are there plans for more cards? Because that's
that's the plan. The plan was to unite forces here in South Florida. I had the privilege of working with Leon Margulies of Warriors Boxing, my dear friend Louis de Cubas, who I've known so many years, his son as well, and having all the promoters here. Well, not all of them, but most of them join forces, work together. Julio Martinez, who's helping the cause as well. And that's what Miami was missing, man, So hopefully.
But our history, bro, come on, man. And we're the damn gateway to the Americas, to the Caribbean. Come on,
I know.
Dude.
It's got to only get better from here. We're hoping 2022 will be a real positive year. And the Hialeah Casino has shown a lot of interest in what we're doing and the plans that we have. So, I just want to thank everybody, Mr. John Bernetti, Frank Fiore. I want to thank Louis de Cuba Sr. and Leon Margulies, Melvin Rivas, Chico Rivas.
I just want to see you guys keep doing it, because if we can make it a tradition, I think that's when we start to build the crowds. If they know it's always coming, I think it's one of those things.
You hit it. You hit it right where it needed to be spoken about. So, in Field of Dreams, they say if you build it, they'll come. Yeah. Well, we're building it now. So hopefully, second, third, fourth show, it catches on. It's right in the center of Miami. Beautiful venue. Hard to come across to have good boxing like this. So we want to try to bring that here. So hopefully we can do it 3-4 more times this year. and then plan real hard for 2023.
If you do 3-4 more times this year, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Because I think that's when people then it starts to pick up a buzz. You know what I mean? And more people want to be a part of it, and then the event becomes bigger and bigger.
And there's going to be a lot of big name people here. You know what I mean? We're going to see former world champions here. I heard your Dennis, actual champions. I heard your Dennis Ugas is coming over here. As you saw, Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz, is here at the press conference. You know, talking
everybody
want
to take a picture with him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You know, he's a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He's a good dude. He's a cool dude. He's a character.
Yeah.
I like him. I like him. All right, Henry, good stuff, my brother. Look forward to the fight card tomorrow, man.
Thank you very much, bro. A pleasure to be on the Big O Show with you always. You're a true gentleman and the best at what you do.
Thank you, my brother. That's too kind.
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Henry Revolta getting it done here. It's going to be a great fight card out here at Hialeah Park, man. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. Derek, you ready, Derek? Come on over. Oh, he does it. No, it's the yeah. Okay. No, he doesn't speak English. So yeah, it'll be weird. It'll be weird. It'll be awkward. So yeah. So anyway, appreciate it anyway. What we'll do is we're gonna try to get somebody. All right, see if you can get somebody, and then we'll try to get you a fighter, and then we'll move on and wrap it up here for the day. If you guys have any questions, send them in. Boxing, you name it, whatever, football. Who? Oh, Lanzas. All right, here we go. Eric Lanza from, making his home now in Homestead from Nicaragua. Eric, how you doing, my man? You doing all right? You feeling good?
Great. Just, rehydrated a little bit after the win. Feeling good, feeling ready to fight.
All right, so let me ask you something. So you're saying you rehydrated. So, like, what'd you do last night? Were you, like, in a sauna for, like, 67 hours straight or something like that? Man. One of those deals?
Sauna till
how the hell do you guys do that stuff?
It's a little extreme, but, boxing, man, it's a game of advantages. And you got to get that advantage, that weight advantage, cut them as most as you can and gain as much as you can the night of the fight,
So Eric, hold on a second. So last night you dehydrated your ass to like the point of a raisin.
To where you can see my spine from the front.
Okay. That's a good line. That's a good line. Okay, so then how in the hell do you sleep or whatever after? Because you've got to be like cotton mouth and like you're dying to drink something. So you're like that for hours until this moment here.
Honestly, well, over time you just start to get used to it. Like, okay, it's part of the job. It'll be over. The burgers are not gonna stop selling. Everything all the restaurants are gonna be there after the fight. So it's all temporary. And it's a mental game.
Yeah.
Like it's all mental too. Like you just gotta try to sleeping is hard. It's like the toughest. But once you get into that deep sleep, you're good. You're good to go.
Okay.
Wake up, you're not even hungry when you wake up.
Wow. Oh, you got to cramp up.
Toes go
oh God,
crazy,
yeah.
bro. Like when I'm trying to lay down.
Yeah.
And sleep,
yeah. No, let me tell you, and it's like for an old dude like me, like every once in a while, I'll get a cramp in I'm 55, bro. Yeah, I'm 55.
I don't believe that.
I'm 55. But you get a cramp like in your calf, and I'm jumping out of bed and I'm trying to straighten this down. I can't imagine what you would be doing. All of you guys. I don't know how you all do this.
She's gonna think I'm crazy, like jumping out of bed like in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. But it's part of the job, we love it. We love what we do, and this is how we make our living.
Okay, so now I get it. Now I know why there's no sex, because you'd break up all your muscles if you have sex. There's no water in there.
Doesn't work.
There's no water in your system.
Literally, it doesn't work.
There's no lubrication, bro. You can't move around. You'll be tearing everything up.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Burn and everything.
So talk to me. And by the way, we're talking with Eric Lanza, making his home here in Homestead from Nicaragua. Talk to me about the psyche leading up to the fight tomorrow night. How do you prepare yourself mentally? How does your day start to the moment you get into the ring? what is it's a routine, right? Because it's got to be some kind of a routine.
Like a ritual. I have this ritual where I just like have this conversation with myself. I zone out. I zone everybody out. I look down at my hands and I say, I have greatness in my hands, and I have to show everybody that. Nobody will believe it until I go in that ring and show it. So I just have that conversation with myself, get in the zone mentally, because at the end of the day, if you're there mentally, you're 100% ready to give it your all the work is done. You know, all the work. There's nothing that you could do that like 24 hours before the fight that's gonna help you. You know, everything's already done. But before you get in that ring, it's all mental. You got to talk, like give yourself a pep talk. You're already hydrating. You're all happy. Everything smiles. But the job's not done. The job's not done till the fight's over, the bell rings, and your hand is raised. You know, God willingly, everything goes to plan. You know, we train very hard for this fight. But like you said, I have this ritual where I look at my hands. I have a conversation with myself. I make sure that I'm in tune with myself and my spirit too, because you need all that. You need to have all that, a mix of your mental, your body, mind, and soul.
Yeah, because everything's going to be tested in that ring.
Exactly, everything. Your heart too. Like you gotta be able to if unexpected punch and you get hurt and you go down, you got to get back up and keep moving forward and adapt and make the adjustments to win the fight.
I got you. Eric Lanza joining us. Eric, do you have to manufacture the anger, or is it not anger because that will maybe get you out of focus? Is it an intensity? What is it that how do you paint the picture of your opponent there? If you don't if you're in a school and you get into a fight with some guy over a girl or whatever, there's natural anger there, right? Yeah. But you got to manufacture, because there's no way you necessarily really hate Ricardo Del Campo.
I don't know him.
You don't know him, right? You know what I mean? So how do you prepare yourself because you got to have some kind of an edge when you walk into that ring?
I'm kind of glad that you mentioned that, because in my recent fights in Miami, my last fight in Miami, I got really emotional because I had all my family. It was my hometown, so it's like you have that pressure building up. So I was looking at all the emotions I had. I gave it to, I showed my opponent that at the weigh-in, but in reality, it went when I stepped in the ring, I was thinking like fight, like I'm gonna knock him out, I'm gonna try to get him out of there, and that's not always the key to success. I had him close to the knockout, but I realized then that if I would have just stayed patient, used my jab more and looked for a perfect counter punch, that I would have gotten what I wanted, the knockout. You can't look for it. You got to go in there, do your job, follow the game plan, and the knockout will come. And, I'm pretty sure you've heard it times before, covering boxing and everything. You can't force the knockout. But I learned from that. And luckily, now I can't, I respect my opponent more, because now, okay, he's here to do his job.
It's not an anger, it's a controlled intensity.
Exactly.
Is
But
that
you gotta
what it
know
is?
when to switch it on.
Right.
And because if you're too emotional,
right,
and you load up on your punches.
Te ciegas.
Te ciega.
Right.
Y todos los golpes los tira duro y te cansa. You get tired.
Right.
And we can't have that in the ring. You got to be able to control, your breathing.
Right.
Because that's another thing. Your breathing is very important.
Of course.
When you're mad, you start.
Right. When you're mad, you blank out. You just your rage. Rage takes over, and rage is not intelligence.
In the ring, doesn't always portray us that way.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting. And at this level, that you don't have the same kind of film on your fighters that came. Once you get to a more, global level, you've seen guys fight each other. Is it a little harder to prepare because some of the fights at this point may not have the same kind of video you need in order to prepare? How much of a challenge is that for you?
Well, it's a challenge, but at the same time, we're looking to treat every fighter the same way. It doesn't matter how good he is or how bad he may be. I still train the hardest. I still stick to my,
your fight.
My basics, yes. I got to make sure that no matter if he's the best fighter in the world that I'm in front of, I have to make him fight my fight, in order for me to come out on top, because that's the key. So I don't, if I'm being honest, even if he had a lot of fights here in the U.S. and he had a lot of footage, I wouldn't be studying too much. I'd let my coaches do that and have them tell me,
a weakness or two
yeah.
or something that
if,
you could
if
take
there
advantage.
is something, that's critical. But at the same time, styles make fights, and he's not gonna
Amen to
fight me
that.
the same way he might fight the next guy.
Yeah.
So you just gotta be in there and work with what you got, like, and just start a rhythm and stay on it and make sure that you end up on top.
I'll ask you a difficult question.
Essay
Everyone
type
has a
question.
weakness, right? How do you protect yourself from that weakness? How do you
My weakness is chocolate. I'll give it
so
to you.
so if it's a Reese's bar in the ring, you're
Oh,
screwed.
yeah, I'm done.
That's
I'm
it.
done.
You're done.
I'm
Okay.
done.
I got you. No, but if there's something that I'm sure every fighter doesn't, every part of their game isn't A1.
Yeah, of course,
right?
of course. We try to
So
hide it. We try to hide it as much as we can.
exactly. So how much of that fine line do you walk that you've got to hide it, and you've got to hide it to the point that you also don't want it to hurt your confidence?
Yeah. I mean, well, the weakness is like if you really like, when it comes down to it, the only person that really knows my weaknesses is probably my coach, because he's the one that sees me when I give it my all in the gym, and I'm tired, and he knows like what are my tendencies when I'm tired.
Sure.
He's the one that can tell. And sometimes he'll be on top of me about it, and he'll try his hardest to be a dick about it.
I got you.
Like,
Yeah.
because my guys are.
You're on
Yeah.
YouTube. You're good. You're
Okay,
good.
good. Yeah, he's my coach, man. He's a great man. He's a great man, but he's a tough cookie, man.
He's gonna bust your balls.
As an ass.
Yeah,
I love him to death, man. I love him to death. He gets me, in the best shape of my life. Yeah, exactly.
There's
He
nothing
can't
wrong
be-
with pushing you,
can't be-
man.
He can't be a cheerleader now,
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a challenge because that challenge you see it more in the gym. Those days when you're tired and you gotta make it to the gym, work hard, and even when you're tired, that's when he asks the most from you. Like, that's when he tells you to push the hardest and slaps you and tells you, "Yo, wake up, wake
Because
up." Come
that's
on,
going to be
let's
the
work.
7th round. That's going to be the
Exactly.
9th round. That's going to be the 12th round.
It's better for it to happen in the gym than
Right.
in the ring. So, but like, as back to your question, like, challenge wise, like, us boxers, we're good. We're good. We got a good poker face. Like, you got to be able to hide it even when you're running and training. Because when we're running and training, I'm tired. Like, I'm
Yeah.
dying, but I gotta just keep that face. Like, no, nah, because it's all mental. At the end of the day, it's all mental. And another thing is you gotta have your little habits in the ring to like stray away, like to keep your fighter away from seeing things like an opening or something like that. Like, you gotta be quick with it. You gotta be more aware of it, of yourself, than he's gonna be aware of your blind spot, or something, a place that he can uh, place a punch and hurt you. But like, I always keep my hands up. I always protect everything. I'm pretty aware of my defense. Sometimes I do tend to get reckless, but when I'm getting reckless, is when I'm going for the kill. So
All right. Well, let's see if you go for the kill tomorrow, man. Eric, thank you for taking some time, man. Great
Thank you for
interview.
having me, man.
Really appreciate you, man.
I like your guys' vibe, man. It's pretty
Thank you,
cool.
my brother. And we'll check you out. We'll be here tomorrow night.
Thank you so much,
All right.
man.
And you can follow the podcast
course.
now. Big
On
O
YouTube.
Radio Show.
All right, perfect, man.
You
Appreciate
got it. All right, baby. Let me shake hands just in case. I don't want you to get any COVID. No, fist pump only. I don't want to be part of knocking you out of the fight. All right, man. Be good. Yeah. All right. So let's see what they're going to get us another fighter. Who are you getting us here, Henry? Okay, I got it. Luis Rodriguez will be taking on Billy Cunningham. And no, not the basketball player, not the former owner of the Miami Heat. Luis J. Rodriguez Fernandez from Puerto Rico. He is 6-0 with 6 knockouts. We're a lot of us are thinking of moving to Puerto Rico. Because those of us that are investing in crypto, they got no capital gains over there
That's
in Puerto Rico. So I can cash in my Bitcoin and I get no taxes on it.
Well, move to Puerto Rico and then.
Yeah, you got a little Bitcoin too?
Nah.
No?
My brother.
Okay, your brother. Okay,
Yeah.
I figured. Because young people are all over it on the crypto side.
yeah.
So I figured
There's a lot.
us old farts, really not a lot of us. I'm one of the few old farts that actually are into crypto. All right, so Luis, how you feeling, man, for this fight?
I'm good. I'm fine. I felt incredible. It was a good camp. Um, Team is prepared for whatever it takes tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. What do you know about your opponent?
Not too much. I saw like 1, 2 fights. It's a little like a brawler fight. But I know I know that with my boxing I can dominate him.
So the quest. How long does it take you on average to figure out the guy that's in front of you? Because
Maybe
that's
like a minute.
really
Yeah, 30 seconds, a minute.
you're going to
I,
be able
I,
to figure out the entire fight from that moment
yeah,
on.
of course.
Wow.
Of course. I got a good IQ in the ring, so that's what I like the most for me.
Okay. Is it something that you push your opponent to certain extents so you can see who they are? Is that what it is to kind of get what kind of boxer they are?
Yeah, maybe it really. I told you before, like 30 seconds, because you know this. I use this 30 seconds, 1 minute, moving the ring. I know what he can bring me. What he can bring to me in the ring. That's why I choose. I told you before, like 30, 1 minute to know what I can do. To him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lewis, what made you get into boxing?
Really, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, my dad.
Was it a
someday-
fight in school? Was
No,
it
no, no, no,
was
no.
it on TV? Did you see somebody?
Some-
Was
Someday my dad took me to the gym, and then I've been in the gym like for 13, 14 years doing this. I love it.
okay?
I
So
just fell in love with it.
so he's a box. Well, Puerto Ricans are boxing fanatics anyway. I mean, it's boxing, baseball, and basketball, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. Basically in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
If I'm correct,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
enough of
you're
my
correct.
Puerto Rican friends, those are the three sports they follow. I mean, they like football too. They like football too,
I like
but
football,
but it's not like boxing, baseball,
Yeah.
and
You're
basketball.
right, buddy.
Like I know you guys love basketball
A
out
lot.
there. Yeah,
A lot.
a lot. So why didn't you play basketball, bro? You don't get
I
punched in
used
the
to.
face.
Yeah, I used
Okay.
to too. Yeah, I used to play basketball.
Okay.
My dad used to play basketball too.
Okay.
That's what I'm introduced me to the basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was his favorite boxer?
My dad,
Yeah.
I think Floyd.
Mayweather? Really?
Me too.
Wow. Okay.
Me
Okay.
too.
Or do you style your game like Floyd?
I,
I'm not saying
don't-
you're Floyd.
I don't
Nobody's Floyd. I
yeah,
get that.
yeah.
But what I'm saying, the style is it? Do you try
Maybe
to?
the IQ.
Okay.
Maybe the IQ. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I love. Mayweather can adapt to every fighter, but
Yes.
not every fighter can adapt to him.
Well, he's the greatest defensive fighter I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never seen a defensive fighter.
there's no
like
chance
that guy.
that it's 1 in a million.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe in a billion.
Yeah. Sugar Ray had a little bit of that too. There's a couple guys. A very young Hector Macho Camacho
Yeah.
was like that. El es Portorro también, no?
Yeah, sí.
Right?
Yeah.
Trinidad was not like that.
No.
But he's a
Trinidad
great.
was
But
a
he's
hard
a
puncher.
he's a great boxer, man.
Yeah.
Great
Of course.
boxer.
Yeah, Cotto too.
Yeah. That's the other thing about the island, man. You guys produce boxers like crazy too, man. You
It's a
know.
better license, but
Yeah.
it's a
So-
good one.
So, what leading up to the fight, do you ever get nervous?
Always.
Really?
I think
Okay.
I think it's like part of the process.
It's normal.
Yeah, it's kind of normal.
What kind of nervousness sets in before a fight?
Mm,
Because it's
Wow.
not the kind of nervous like, oh, I can't do this. That's not what you guys are saying to yourselves.
Yeah, maybe hitting my nails. I don't know. Like kind of like when you like this, like damn. Like what? I don't know. It can happen. How do I say?
Dilo en español.
Puede pasar cualquier cosa.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can happen. So
Right. I see. All right. Okay. All right. I like that, Lewis. All right. So, has there been any time when you're in the ring? Because I know you're young in your career right now. You're 6-0,
Yeah.
but you've had amateur fights also at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
So, Are there any times where you walk into the ring that your opponent was really hard to figure out? And it gave you, it wasn't 30 seconds or a minute. It took you a couple rounds.
In the amateurs, it's kind of difficult because you have
three rounds.
Three
right?
rounds. So
That's right. That's true.
you have to, wake up.
Yes. Yeah, because you got to score points or you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So maybe, I can't remember right now.
Right.
But maybe.
How many amateur fights did you have before you went pro?
70, 75, 73.
75, 73. Okay. That's not bad.
What?
Huh?
Nah, I'm just into the Central American Games. I
Okay.
got bronze medal.
All right. Good stuff. All right, Luis. Hey, thank you for taking some time, man. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And
Thank you guys.
Don't get nervous.
I'll try.
There you go. You're laughing. You're good.
Thanks.
You're good. Thank you, Luis.
Thank
Appreciate you, man. You got it. There you go. Luis Rodriguez Fernandez joining us. It'll be a hell of a night tomorrow night here at Hialeah Park. It should be a lot of fun. Let me see. Barney says, "Oh, Hialeah, that's how it's spelled. I remember it from the 80s. Yes. So do I. Well, that's the one thing that when I walk into this place, I can think of me eating lunch with my dad here all the time. I would meet him here all the time at Hialeah Park. I would meet him here. I would meet him at El Cid, that restaurant that was a castle off of Lejeune by Kinloch Park. Oh, man. Back in the days. I remember that. Gilbert, thank you for loving the show. Appreciate it. Miami Kid J. Thank you, sir. Tommy says, are you guys going to stream these fights? No, Tommy, we don't. You got to go to Fight TV, FITE.TV. They will carry the fights. It's a pay-per-view. It's like $15 or something like that. Or you can come here and buy the tickets if you want, but we cannot stream the fights. We will not be able to do that. That would be illegal, and we would get in trouble for that. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here on the show. Sean, thank you, my brother. That's the second plate you're on. Nice job by you. We thank, of course, the Brunetti family. We thank Frank Fiore, of course, Henry Revolta, all the great people out here, Steve Calabro. Yes.
To my defense, it's just shrimp.
That looks like croquettes over there.
No, croquettes as well, yes.
Yeah, the first plate was shrimp.
No, I ate the shrimp, and I say the croquettes.
Oh, I see. So it was a shrimp and croquettes plate.
Yes.
It's just the shrimp has disappeared. I got you now. Okay. All right.
Apparently, they were told to place a plate over here for me. I go up to get my drink, and he's like, "Did you get your plate of food?" I'm like, "Yes, I did. Thank you."
They take care of us here at Hialeah Park.
Thank you, Frank Fiore.
Yeah, Fiore's the best. Fiore's the best. All right, hey, tomorrow you can catch us live over at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. We'll be out there from 10 to 1. And then later on in the evening, Sean and I will be hanging out here watching the fights. And we won't be working, actually. We'll be relaxing, watching the fights. Nothing wrong with that. I'm looking forward to, and I hope to meet a whole bunch of you that won the tickets. All your tickets will be at Will Call, so come on down, go to Will Call, show your ID. They have your name in Will Call. Those of you that I told you won, you can be here and enjoy the fights tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel. You all drive safely out there. We love you. See you later.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge it